Looking for the right realtor to sell your property? The Henri Frank Group at RE/MAX Preferred is your answer. Selling properties in Palm Beach, Broward, and Miami-Dade County? Call Henri and Frank, 954-604-9999, and schedule a free consultation and market analysis of your home. Henri Frank Group at RE/MAX will show you their 100-step program to sold. Call 954-604-9999. If you're just thinking about selling, today is the day to get started. 954-604-9999.
Good morning, South Florida. Welcome to the Mortgage Minute with Lynn Whitefall. Today's conventional rates are starting at 3.75 on a 15-year fixed, 4.5 on a 30-year fixed. FHA is as low as 4.375. Lock it if you like it, because it's not going to stick around. Remember that. Today we're going to talk about, on the hot topic of the Mortgage Minute, HomePath. What is HomePath? HomePath is a loan that is eligible for Fannie Mae-owned properties only. You only need a 3% down payment. You pay no monthly mortgage insurance. On a $150,000 purchase, you're saving $140 a month on monthly mortgage insurance premiums. Keep in mind, HomePath is not for every buyer. If you are FHA approved, due to a lower credit score or higher debt ratio, you still may need to use FHA. However, it is a good option to know about. Make sure you are pre-approved for HomePath before you make any offers. But it is a very, very good option. Here's what you may not know about HomePath eligible properties. Finance buyers, primary home buyers, they get first dibs. So there's a certain period of time where HomePath properties have to take those finance buyers. So look for those properties. Look for those HomePath properties. The Henri Frank team is available to send you those lists of properties that are customized to your needs. You could reach me at 754-245-3003 or at henryfrank.com, Henry with an I, frank.com. Back to you guys.
All right. That was great, Lynn. 3.75.
That's right.
Wow.
On a 15-year fix. They're
That's
low.
a historical low.
It's very low.
That was
It's
my
very
first
low.
loan in 1999, and it was 7%. 15-year fixed. But it was 7%.
7%.
And that was in 99.
7%. We're locking them in like I
And I
locked
was happy.
everybody this week
I
because
bet.
they dropped, and when they drop, you have to lock them. So
And I thought that was great.
yeah, it was great back then.
7%.
You were coming out
I
of
was
the
like, well,
18% era.
Yeah, I was like,
I remember
7%.
doing a house in 92, and I actually paid 16%.
That's right.
Interest.
Oh, my goodness.
16%.
So
That's
that's
highway
And I
robbery.
thought, yeah, that was robbery.
That's why I keep saying now it's dollar cost averaging. You know, everybody
Right.
talks about when you buy a stock, you want to buy it low. It's the same thing with real estate. You're buying property, you're buying more square footage for less dollars.
Exactly.
So it's dollar cost averaging. Now's the time.
Well, that was great. Great
Thank
information. We appreciate that. So, I wanted to get back to this discussion about should real estate agents get first dibs on new listings, and it's become a topic of conversation. HomePath, for example, which is sponsored by Fannie and Freddie, the big government institution, and they've developed this program to get first-time home buyers and primary home buyers into the market.
To keep the investors out.
Right, and keep the investors out. So HomePath is focusing on those first-time home buyers or primary home buyers.
Right.
Do they have to be first-time home buyers?
No, and you can even buy a HomePath property as an investor. It's not only for a primary
As a second home.
and second home.
As a second
you just
home.
have to put more money down, but you can buy it as an investor. You just have to put more money down. For only primary residents can go up to 97%.
Okay.
They can buy them, but they also can't sell it for the first year.
There's certain stipulations
right.
on those properties, right?
Well,
they
we've
can buy
done
the
a
property.
number of these HomePath,
Right.
quite a few.
Well, we had the one in East Point Towers.
Oh,
it was
that
a
was a
HomePath.
HomePath?
Yes, it was
Okay.
a HomePath. He bought it. It was cash.
And he had to sign all those documents,
Oh, yes, he did.
right?
He had to sign all the documents, and he decided it was the second home, and he had to say that, he's not going to sell it. He can't rent it either.
That's right.
For the first year.
First year?
And then after that, you can do what you wish.
And there's no appraisals with HomePath, so you're saving, between $275 and $425 on appraisal fees because Fannie Mae sells it at what it is appraised for. So.
Right, and then you don't have to, if it's a property you really, really want, and the appraisal comes in low, and it just came in low, and you still want to go forward, in some cases you can't because of the appraisal. And that was a real big issue a year and 2 years ago, but it's getting much better. But this is perfect with HomePath. We don't have to worry about the appraisal.
Correct.
which is great
No,
for us
that's-
realtors.
yeah.
So, but HomePath. So, I think what a lot of the lenders are doing, and Tom Kelly from Inman News writes this article, and I think a lot of the REO foreclosures that we get down here in Southern Florida right now, they have a marketing period. So a lot of them will say, this property must be marketed for a period of 14 days to primary home buyers. Doesn't have to be first-time home buyers, a primary home buyer. If after that marketing period, whether it's 14 or 15, whatever, they can say 7 days. Then if a primary home buyer doesn't come to the table with an offer, at that time they'll take investors. I do like that policy.
I like the policy as well. But as for the investor,
They don't like it.
they don't
and
like
we
it
have
because
a lot of investors.
normally, because they're not really going to get it, because if it's a good deal and it's a foreclosure.
Well, this is I don't know about that, because this is what Tom Kelly says, that why do that when, well, his really focuses on should real estate agents even buy these before they go out. But he does take it a step further and says, well, I think they should give the opportunity to the first time or primary home buyer.
I agree.
And then if it's still there, then the investor can jump on it. But he's saying there's more properties coming out than there are buyers.
And there's more agents that are jumping on the opportunity and buying them and then selling them.
Which I don't agree with.
But it can be a conflict of interest.
I think it's a definite conflict of interest. And I think that should be stopped.
But I don't think you can stop it because it's really not illegal in the sense that, this is a...
But they can make it a policy.
They could. They
you
can
know,
make it a policy.
Just like they do for the marketing period. And I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that how many realtors do we know who do these things? And it's not really fair to our clients who are primary home buyers or even our investors for the realtors to not even put them out. And I'm thinking of one that I know in Wilton Station, and I'm not going to mention any names because I really don't want to do that. But there was a particular property. It was never even put on the market, and a realtor bought it. And I don't think that was right, because I had several clients, 3 or 4, 4 clients that wanted to put offer on that unit. It was a beautiful unit, and it never even came onto the market. And it was sold to a realtor, and the price he bought it for, definitely he can turn around and make $60,000 today.
Brian,
I don't know if that's such a
Well,
great
it's just
idea.
inside information. I mean, people go to jail for that.
Yeah, right.
If it was a
Martha.
different
when it comes
Stewart.
to the stock market, yes.
Yeah,
but when it
that's
comes to
insane.
real estate,
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
quite sure what the law is
I
there.
don't know. I guess it becomes an ethical issue then.
Yeah.
Ethically,
I mean-
I wouldn't do that. If I had that listing and another realtor came to me and said, "Oh, well, what are you going to put it on? Give it to me, blah, 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 whatever." I would say, no, I'll give you the opportunity.
I'll give you a hypothetical. Let's say we get a listing, and it's a short sale. It's already approved. She hasn't gotten a buyer. She only has 2 months to close this before they vacate and take the property back.
Okay.
And you're able to buy the property for her, get her out of the short sale, and then you can resell it. What do you do?
I don't know.
Right. What do you do? Is that if you couldn't get a buyer, you can't bring a buyer because the house needs work and nobody wants it, and
Right.
you have the means to do it,
Right.
and to help this individual out. I don't know. Now, I'm not saying that's what the other agents are doing. I'm just giving you a hypothetical.
And at the Henri Frank Group, Henry and I have both been investors. We both have purchased several properties. But when we became realtors and became the Henri Frank Group, we made a commitment to our clients that we won't buy properties. We won't be investors while we're realtors, because that, I think, is a big conflict of interest.
Well,
If
you don't want to
you're a
compete
right.
with those
Well,
properties that they want.
If you're a buyer
Right.
or an investor and your realtor is the same, is he going to pass along the deal, the steal deal,
Yeah.
or is he going to take it for himself? And if I was a client with a realtor like that, I would always have in my mind, did he take one that I could have had? So
Right.
we have a commitment to our clients.
Well, what they would do
And
is
for-
take the deal and then resell it to them and make a
Yeah.
little bit of money on
And
it.
that's a conflict of interest.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we do not do that at the Henri Frank Group. We made a commitment. We are not buying any properties. Of course, for ourselves, maybe if
that's
we don't
different.
even have plans for that, we're happy where we are. But I think that's a big problem. So I think this article in Inman News is something to think about. And my answer to the question, should real estate agents get first dibs on new listings, is no. I don't think they maybe a fair chance, and even that I don't necessarily agree with.
It's really the banks are the ones who can put a stop to it if they want. They'll
Right.
make them sign a disclosure.
And then Paul Kelly says, well, if we don't allow them to do that, those properties will sit there longer. That's not the case in Southern Florida.
No, it's not.
No, it's not the case in Southern Florida.
But I could see that some of them could go into foreclosure if their houses need a lot of work.
He's talking about foreclosures.
Right.
So I don't...
The foreclosures, we know that they ought to already jump on them before
Right.
they even get onto the market, which is not fair. I agree.
It isn't. Yeah. It isn't. So that's... I just really wanted to talk about that today. All right, let's recap here. To reach the Henry Frank Group, 954-604-9999. If you're out of the calling area, you can call us toll-free at 855-604-1999. You go to the Henry Frank Group website, www.henryfrank.com. Remember, Henry with an I. And on the website, we're posting a link. Contact us, and you'll see all the ways to contact us. You can also text us at that number. We're on Facebook, which you go facebook.com/Henry Frank. And that's another way to reach us. So we're real reachable. If I really strongly encourage buyers to call Lynn, get your pre-approval letter. There's no obligation. She can work with you, give you some consultation, and talk to you about the process. And don't forget our buyer's workshop on July 23rd. That's 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Email us or call us, 954-604-9999, and reserve your seat for that. And our next show will be Tuesday morning, 8:30 to 9. And we're going to be talking about some of the 55 and over communities that we have in Palm Beach County and Broward County. We have quite a few 55 plus Coral Ridge Towers,
Right.
under 100,000, one block to the beach.
Oh, right on the intercoastal.
Right on the Intracoastal. So we have real good opportunities for the 55 plus market. We're going to be talking about that on Tuesday. So we have a lot to look forward to. In the meantime, if you have any questions, of course, call us and make it a great day. Thanks.
You've been listening to the Real Estate Roundtable with Henry and Frank. Henry Vezzi and Frank Vigliotti have a wealth of experience bringing buyers and sellers together in Broward, Palm Beach, and Miami-Dade counties. The Henry Frank Group, brokered by RE/MAX Preferred, has offices in Fort Lauderdale, Hillsborough Beach, Plantation, Wilton Manors, and soon on Las Olas Boulevard. Contact them at 954-604-9999 or online at henryfrank.com. That's Henry with an I, Frank.com. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.